We're at Greenlaw Mountain, which is, I think, the highest point of land in Charlotte County area. It's, if you can imagine the coast here we're looking at, we see the St. Croix River behind us. Just below us here to the south is the town of St. Andrews. There's not a lot like this in New Brunswick. It's an extraordinary place just to visit, to see. Having a lifelong interest in birds, naturally, and certainly birds of prey. We have about, I think, 14, 15 species across here. To see them in such numbers as we can see them some days, to see the low-flying birds that come in and right over top of the watch, and you get views here of hawks and eagles and ospreys and so on. That's really hard to get otherwise. They're normally very secretive birds when they're nesting. Here they're in migration, and you can get very good looks at them. So for me, it's a thrill every time I'm here, even on a quiet day, because you never know what's going to pop up.
On a day like today, when you have no backdrop other than a blue sky, it's particularly challenging. The birds appear as a relatively dark object in the sky, so when they have a dark background like this blue sky, there's no contrast. So it's very difficult to spot them, and there are no points of reference.
It's the only hawk watch in Atlantic Canada now that's operating, and certainly on a professional basis. We haven't had information in the past about hawks moving from this region. So it is really important that we understand what's happening with these birds.
I was introduced to hawk watching further south in the States, and that's where my interest was sparked. On my first day of hawk watching, I saw approximately 275 hawks, which I thought was quite exciting. And then I went back about a week later and I saw several thousand, and that was it. I was just hooked from there, and it's become a passion. A group of birds coming overhead.
Todd's an extremely gifted hawk watcher. He's been at it for years. So what Todd will do, he'll constantly scan the horizon, generally to the east, but of course he's watching because it's a big sky and birds may be going by him. So he'll constantly look at all the view planes we have here, scanning around, trying to pick birds out from a long distance away.
And these birds move in mass. You might see 70% of the population move in a single day or in a single event, say a 1 or 2 or 3 day period. As the day progresses on one of these big days, you typically see greater and greater numbers, with maximum movement occurring sometime in the afternoon hours. Well, we're identifying and counting all of the birds of prey that are passing this point in land. So I record that on data forms. I take hourly weather readings, and I compile the data on that, totaling every hour through the course of the day. And we do that hourly so that you can look at how the numbers match up with what's occurring weather-wise.
And then this all feeds into an international database that's managed by the Hawk Migration Association of North America. So they can compare what's happening coming out of, in our case, Eastern Canada, to what's happening elsewhere in the Eastern Flyway and in North America overall.